welcome, welcome. Today I am doing a fun little experiment with a training that we are doing with in Zoom. So we have many of you here in Zoom, and I'm looking straight at those of you. I see you, Margot, Bill, Dan, Taylor, Gio in the house, Diana. Welcome, welcome. Those of you who are in Zoom, go ahead and turn your cameras on if you can, and let us know where you live. I would love, love, love to learn something about you. And also, those of you watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, welcome. Type where you live as well in the chat room. I'd love to learn about you as well. If you are watching out on social and you actually wanted to join on Zoom where we can actually have a conversation, because the Zoom call is actually going to go on beyond the live stream, but you have an email in, or you have a link in your email to join the Zoom training. All right, Rally, nice, Dan, FRNC. I'm terrible, or I don't know what that means. So let's get on with this training. Welcome to everybody here. I am excited about this, and this is really about the 3 on-camera archetypes and the monster that sabotages them. So the 3 on-camera archetypes are really about how you operate within video, right? So you have a lot of feelings around creating videos, which is absolutely normal. So whether you're super consistent, not consistent, you have feelings that kind of come up when you are thinking about creating video. Can you type in the chat room for me? Everybody on Zoom, on YouTube, LinkedIn, please type the one feeling that comes up for you. I would love to hear where your space, or like how you are in your head. Now that is, again, totally normal for it to feel something, for you to feel something around it, right? But first, what we need to do in order to make video feel easy for you in your business is that you must intentionally identify with how you currently operate with video. And that is why it feels harder than it should. So in this training, you are going to discover which archetype you currently are and what dangers that you're going to face as you work within that archetype. And by the end, you're going to know exactly what needs to shift over the next 3 weeks, because over the next 3 weeks, we're actually doing something really, really exciting. And I would love to see you join in. Regardless of if you do or not, you're going to get an amazing training today. But Lita is the video breakthrough sprint. And I'll tell you more about it later. But basically, it's built to help you build a video presence that's natural, repeatable, and built for growth. It's a community-driven experience that we've run many, many times in the past, and it helps you build trust, deepen connection, and convert higher with your videos. So again, I'll tell you more about that. You are more than welcome to join on in. Thousands of people have gone through it in the past, and they call it life-changing. Literally, nobody goes through this process that we're kind of going to talk about how you operate within video. They don't go through this process and not come out somebody new, somebody more solid in their video presence. Okay, so let's talk about this these archetypes. So I have a question for you, whether you're live on YouTube or here in Zoom. I see your faces. Is video currently feeling like a system in your business? Or is it just another to-do item? Will you type system in the comments or to-do in the comments? I'd love to see. Yeah, double yellow, you're right. That was funny. Like to do. In between, training tool system. So Gio, you feel like video is a total system for you. Is that accurate? Bill, you feel like it's a system that runs on its own that you really don't have to think about. If so, that's fantastic. Most people are typing in to do because it does feel a little heavy, right? And so what this training is not really It's not meant for anything other than a mirror and a path forward. Meaning, this mirror is essentially built to not be judgment, but to give you an insight into how you do operate within video, right? And so that you can see, okay, if this feels like me, this is then how I have to change. This is what I need to shift and move forward to be able to move forward. So archetype number 1 is the sloth. No judgment about the sloth. I'll tell you why. Because the sloth is the strategic over-preparer, right? So sloths have this bad connotation to be lazy or unmotivated, but here's the facts. Sloth's entire existence is built on extreme energy conservation. They don't move slowly because they're lazy. They move slowly because they do not want to waste a single amount of energy. And as the sloth, this is actually you saying, you know what? I don't want to waste time and energy on something that doesn't feel good or that doesn't actually move the needle. And that is okay. So the sloth's core pattern is delayed action, right? So the belief is, you know what, I need to be more ready. The sloth, though, is thoughtful, strategic, observant. But somebody actually said this, and I told him I was going to steal it on a previous training I did about this. The H in sloth is also for hesitant. So I thought that was really good. But with the sloth, you are watching other people's videos. Maybe you save ideas. You take a bunch of courses, maybe too many if you're being honest with yourself. Maybe you research what works. Maybe you buy some more equipment. You plan a lot, but you rarely publish. And when you do, man, it feels monumental and like such a big thing, right? And when you do publish, then you tend to disappear for weeks or months after. Your relationship with video feels heavy. It feels like this big production, if that makes sense, right? You believe that you need more clarity before you start because you're scared of wasting time. You tell yourself, I'm gonna start when I have a full strategy, when I know what's on the other end. I need a content calendar first, and it needs to be planned out for the next entire year. And you think to yourself, I don't want to do it wrong. H is hesitant or hiding. I like that, Diana. Yes. So who identifies with being the sloth? And again, zero judgment, because we know sloths aren't lazy. They are just conserving energy. So type the sloth emoji, and Callie has posted that in the chat so that you can copy paste. If this feels like you, do you feel like the sloth? Diana says yes. Let's see. Biz Case Study says, I feel like I'm the only person in the organization that actually wants to make it a system, but everybody else thinks it's a to-do. Well, then get them involved in this process, right? Yes, Anthony says sloth. Dan need to see others before I commit. Dan, that is a total vulnerable thing to say, and I appreciate you saying that. Honestly, like, okay, like what's coming up for you, Dan, if you can let me know that you are like not sure what's coming up for you and that need to see others. And I invite everybody to just claim it. If you don't feel like the sloth, don't say it. But if you do, it is 1000% zero judgment. This is where everybody starts, okay? Akua, am I saying your name right, I hope, is saying sloth. Yes, okay. So what we're gonna do is look at the positive side of this sloth mentality. The truth is you don't lack ability. You have every ounce of ability within you already. What you lack is integration. The sloth doesn't want to waste effort. That's why it moves slow, to keep that effort. But You just never compound it. And for video to feel like a real part of your business growth, you must have a compounding effect. And that is what you will achieve if you join us inside of the Lita Video Breakthrough Sprint. Because I'm going to tell you all the details about it later, but I actually have you do consistent actions so that you create this compounding effect and you get past that sloth mentality or habit that you're facing right now. I may have some sloth, but it could wind up being a platypus with a mix. All right, well, platypus is not one of them, but we'll get to what is next. I like the platypus bit though. That's cute. You will achieve becoming or compounding with that compounding effect with video if you show up every single day inside of Lita. If you allow me to give you a mission every single day and you go do it. And it's in a private, safe environment. So guess what? There's zero judgment. There's community accountability. There's movement forward together. But you can achieve it if you show up every single day to do it. If you do tend to disappear, this is your moment. And so I would love to see whether you are in Lita and we're doing this together, or you want to use this as a kickstart on your own, then commit in the chat that you are going to actually do the work and not hold yourself back. All right, number 2 is the Cheetah. This is really the intensity sprinter, right? Cheetahs are built for explosive speed, not really endurance. So as a cheetah, you tend to take action in bursts of energy, and then you rest for long periods of time. I was talking to somebody else who felt like she was more of a cheetah, and she said, I haven't posted in 7 months, right? Burst, like putting herself out there and then resting for a very long time. The core pattern with cheetahs is that sprint and burnout cycle. It's just a consistent cycle. And the belief is that if I can push through this, or if I can push hard enough, I can force momentum, right? The cheetah is capable. I mean, freaking capable, motivated, driven. And maybe you batch 6 videos in one weekend. You go live 3 days in a row. You get fired up for a training. You launch really hard, right? And then you just disappear. And your relationship with video as a cheetah is very tied to adrenaline. It's very emotional. You post when you feel confident. You stop when life gets busy, right? And you just kind of tell yourself, I need to be more disciplined. Next time I'm going to be more consistent. Hey, you know what? I just work well under pressure. Come on. Can you identify with being the cheetah? If you can, type the cheetah emoji in the chat room. I would love to see that. David on YouTube says, I'm a sloth with ADHD. Fair enough. Yeah, I think a lot of people do, right? So are you the cheetah? The good news with cheetahs is that you don't actually lack discipline, okay? You are lacking rhythm. The cheetah just proves that you can do it. You can't sustain it. That's the problem. And so cheetah tends to confuse intensity with progress. I'm going to say that again. The cheetah tends to confuse intensity with progress. But bursts of progress is not integration. And integration is what you need. And if you do join us in Lita, and there are some people here in Zoom who are part of Lita, I would love for you to share what you have achieved inside of Lita as well in the comments. But this is what we do, is we achieve that integration because the consistency and this whole sprint is designed to do so. Now, you've got to show up, right? You've got to do the work. You've got to not let yourself fall into old habits, right? And when you do feel bursts of extra energy, you can put that to good use, but you don't want it to only be bursts of energy, right? You can actually use that to your advantage. All right, so the number 3 identity is the lion. The archetype is the lion. This is the rhythmic leader. Lions are built for strength and stamina, and they don't rely on motivation. Instead, they move with steady rhythm and consistent follow through. And the core pattern here is integrated consistency. The belief is, hey, this is just part of how I run my business. It is a system. It is not something that I wait for motivation around. It's not something that I try to do. It just is. Just like you send your email out every week, just like you wake up and brush your teeth every morning, like it is just part of who you are. The lion is calm, strategic, and powerful. And I see a mix of men and women in here. And while lions are typically the thing that we look at, remember, women, lionesses, do 90% of the hunting, 90% of the work, and they are really the real warriors. So whether you are a lion or a lioness, what happens is that you do publish regularly. You don't make it dramatic. You don't overthink it. You don't rely on motivation. It's not an event. It's not a performance. It's a business tool, okay? A business tool. You know who you're speaking to exactly. You know what result each of your video achieves, and you know what to do with that video. You have a repeatable structure. You don't treat video like a second job, and your confidence doesn't come from hype. It comes from repetition. It's not viral, it's intentional. Can you identify with being a lion? Then post the lion emoji in the chat room. I would love to see that. I know that we had somebody earlier say it is a system, and I think that was you, Gio, wasn't it? But type the lion if you are, if it is a full system in your business. I like that, Dan. A chi lion, halfway in between. And that is actually very normal for you to kind of be maybe a combo of, sloth and cheetah, or kind of moving towards the lion. And if you're not there yet, then that's where we want to get to, right? Lions or lionesses is what we're trying to achieve here. The good news is you don't become lions by deciding to. It is not a decision. It's really the rhythm. You install the rhythm, you install the habits. And that is what Lita will help you build, right? And if you do decide to join us in Lita, this is the 3-week sprint that we are working towards together that is kicking off right now, actually. And with this process, you will not achieve becoming a full lion in 3 weeks, because it takes time, it takes repetition, it takes mastery of the skills that you're learning, but you will get a taste of it. You will begin to see what it's like to operate like a lion, where it is a full system in your business. As long as you show up and you do the work. A lion cub, Bill. That's cute. Now, as a bonus, who wants to know what, show of hands, who wants to know what happens after the lion? I want to see some yeses. Yes. All right. Movia, am I saying your name right? All right. And those of you just joining us on live, we are also on Zoom. So we've got live streams, we've got Zooms going. What happens after the lion is the Chihuahua. Because we know Chihuahuas are the queens. We know they rule the world. If you've ever met a Chihuahua, you know that they rule the entirety of the world. They show up on camera. You show up on camera to make videos, right? Like, you don't worry about all of the rest of the details, what videos need to be made, what thumbnails, titles to use. You just sit on top of your blanket throne and you let the team do all of the work. You have people, you have systems, you don't really touch the details. You, as the queen, show up to only do what you do best, which is deliver your message, which is to be who you are and help how you only can help the people that you're there to serve. right? So one day we will all have a Chihuahua phase, right? That's what you're really going for. I pay rent for my Chihuahua, Callie says. Yes, exactly. So really what this is all about is not, oh, I forgot about this slide. This is my favorite picture of Abby. My Chihuahua, if you never met Abby. The look that she gives. But this is really not about judgment, right? Are you a sloth? Are you a cheetah? Are you a lion? This is really truly about naming patterns and giving you the power to control your destiny when it comes to doing video. Whether you're a sloth, whether you're a cheetah or a lion or a lioness, I want you to own that. And maybe, you know, Dan, maybe you feel like you have a little bit more kind of to work with here now, but which one are you right now? There's no shame at wherever you are on the journey, okay? It's just about owning it, seeing it, and acknowledging, okay, these are my patterns, these are my habits, these are the things that are coming up for me, and we're gonna have a path forward to get out of that. So what is gonna get in your way? That is the big question. Introducing the monster that will sabotage you. So the reality is, each and every one of you, no matter which identity is or which archetype you are going to face a monster through this process. You just will. A little bit of story time for those of you who haven't heard this before or are new to me. If you are new to me, by the way, type new in the comments. I would love to meet you. But when I first started, I've been doing video for 20 years, and I hated my first video. Like, I called my mom crying. Now, I was early 20s, so I kind of allow myself to claim that. But I just called my mom crying so much because I thought, oh, I'm terrible at this. Why am I doing this? What? Welcome, Ikua. Nice to see you. Diana, new to you. I love that. No, not slow at all. You are right where you need to be in the moment that you are here. But everything was ultra hard for me when I first started doing video. Now I can show up and I can do video super easily. I can do it without makeup. I can do it without thinking. But when I first started, everything was scripted to a T. And I had no buffer, no leeway, no ability to trust myself on video. And if you feel that way, if you don't trust yourself on video because you need to prepare or over-prepare, that is really what we're doing here, right? And so I learned about this monster when I was asked to co-host a TV show early on, like a year into me doing video in the first place. And I had previously no experience, certainly didn't have any experience doing a TV show. Like, what were they thinking? Right? But I showed up on set and they threw me into the deep end. I thought I could use a script and they were like, no scripts, this is live to tape. We are just going. If you mess up, you mess up, we go. We just keep going. This is live. And I'm like, where's the bag? I felt like Sheldon, like, right? If anybody knows that TV show. But like I was hyperventilating in my head. I got through it, but I didn't like it. And as I looked backwards, I realized that is what is happening to me, right? It's Lamb, the live adrenaline monster. He is that voice in your head that whatever form of video that you're doing, whether we're talking live streaming, YouTube video, IG reel, Zoom call, you are on when you get on camera. And I realized that all my fears before that TV show, before I really understood what a live environment was, it's the same exact thing in a recorded environment or any other form of video. It's the same mental block, it's the same fears, it's the same worries. And so what I want you to really sit on is that Lamb feels like fear. Lamb will attack you feeling like fear, but it's actually just a nervous system spike triggered by visibility. I'm gonna say that again. It's a nervous system spike triggered by visibility. It shows up when you are about to be seen, when you feel like you might be judged, when you're about to sell or sell in a new way, when you're about to take up space. Lamb feeds on exposure. Now, what you need to hear is lamb is not proof that you shouldn't show up. It is not the permission to not show up. Lamb is only proof that what you're doing actually matters because you freaking care about it, because you want to do good. And that, if you can make that adjustment, that is actually a really beautiful thing, right? Oh, I'm feeling lamb. Okay. It's because I care, because I want to do this well, because I have something that I'm trying to accomplish, and that's going to force me into a new version of myself. And that is so beautiful. If we're not doing that as human beings, what are we doing? Am I right or am I right? Right? Okay. So as the sloth, I see the hearts. Thank you, Diana. As the lamb and sloth, how do they operate together? So where is lamb going to attack you if you are saying, yeah, you know, like those sloth tendencies are where I am? It's not really screaming at you. Lamb is whispering, saying, you're not ready. Hey, what are people going to think? You're going to forget what you're going to say. Who are you to do this? You need more clarity. What if you look unprepared? Well, you are unprepared. You should research maybe one more thing. Let's just outline this better first. Let's script it out. I don't want to waste people's time. Maybe you don't feel like you can really provide enough value. Lamb shows up for sloths specifically before you hit publish, because that's why you're not hitting publish, because you're letting lamb attack. Lamb is a real bummer, Stan. Lamb thinks it's your friend, but it's not. Exactly. So what happens when lamb is attacking the sloth? You open Canva, you rewrite the script, you tweak the lighting, you save it, more drafts, you come up with more ideas. Lamb is trying to keep you safe. As Angela was saying, lamb thinks it's your friend. It's trying to protect you, but it's delaying you. Okay. The cheetah. How does the cheetah and lamb move together? Well, the cheetah is already moving. It's already posting. It's just very inconsistent. Lamb doesn't delay you necessarily like it does the sloth, but it does pressure you. It says, if you're going to do this, you better freaking dominate. Don't just show up. You got to impress. If you don't capitalize on this momentum, you're going to lose it. Do more, batch more, say yes to everything. You can rest later. Don't worry. Lamb shows up for the cheetah after you hit publish. So what happens? You overcommit, you burn out, you disappear. Lamb is, again, trying to keep you safe by exhausting you because, hey, if you're too tired to continue, you can't be judged or blamed for not putting content out. I'm burnt out. It's okay. Like, I give myself permission, right? And burnout is a thing, but if you're allowing yourself to listen to lamb in these moments, then it's not doing you any good in building your business through video. So it's really not laziness, it's overdrive. Lamb isn't telling the cheetah to stop, he tells you to prove yourself. All right. So that is really where you want to kind of understand, and you should be starting to feel like, whether you're the sloth or the cheetah, these are the things that are going through my brain, or my habits are showing up in this way. So let's talk about the lion. Lamb is isolating the lion. It says, you already know this. You shouldn't need help. This is foundational. You're past this. Don't slow down for basics. This one is really subtle because lamb doesn't attack lions at the start like it does the others, but it attacks when you start to move in a new direction. So maybe you raise your prices, you sell more consistently, or in a new format like a live stream or a webinar or things like that. Maybe you start to get visible at scale and you step into your leadership position a little bit more. Lamb is going to say, what if this stops working? What if you can't sustain this? What if people expect more from you? What if you fail publicly? Lamb is going to destabilize your success. And lamb is really attacking at that next level, right? It's like, oh, you're hitting a new level, like we're gonna attack. But that's the thing, if you hear these different levels, like you're moving forward, but lamb evolves as you evolve, right? Lamb is gonna just keep showing up in new ways. And so again, the lamb is whispering to a sloth, as in saying, wait, hold up, you're not ready. Cheetah, lamb pressurizes it, prove it, do more, do more, do more. The lion is isolating, don't become more, right? Same monster, different tactic. All right, so I would love to hear, what does lamb usually say to you? Like if you think about lamb and all of these things that we're talking about, what are the words that come up for you? Type that in the chat room. I would love to hear that. And here's the reality check. Lamb is not proof that you are bad at video. That's what I hear all too often. Lamb is, I'm just bad at video. No, you're not. Lamb is proof that you are expanding. And that is the most beautiful thing we can do as human beings, especially in our businesses. So as if you do join us inside of Lita, over the next 3 weeks, lamb is gonna show up. If you're a sloth, it's gonna try and slow you down. If you show up, even if you're not ready, then it will no longer have a hold on you, right? If you are not cute. Sorry, I want praise for my team for making that happen. If you're a cheetah, lamb is gonna try and push you into proving. But if you don't wait for motivation, but focus on consistency, he will no longer have a hold on you. If you are a lion, lamb is gonna try and convince you that you're above support or foundational work. But if you allow yourself to revisit foundational concepts, because at each new level, we do have to do that in order to really grow intentionally, then he will no longer have a hold on you. Your job is not to eliminate lamb, it's to recognize his voice. Because when you can name him, you get to choose differently. I'm gonna say that again. When you can identify it, when you can name it, what's happening to you, you get to choose differently. If lamb is telling you to not go, you get to choose to go. You have full control to be able to tame lamb yourself, which is such a beautiful thing. And then one day you're going to be the Chihuahua taming lamb in full. All right, so definitely a sloth through and through. Okay, real quick, I want to read some of these comments because I asked you, what is lamb saying? Diana says, lamb says, this could be better. Who are you to share? What if your advice screws up somebody's life? Diana, that is, I feel that so much, and that's such an honest thing to say. Thank you for saying that. And it's not true, right? Akua says, you are not ready or good enough. It will be messy. Well, it will be messy, and that can be okay. You are not good enough. You are a fraud, Movia says. Bonita, will I embarrass myself? Yikes, yes. Betty says, lamb evolves as we evolve. It will show up in new ways each and every time you move forward. That is exactly why we are doing Lita. This is the video breakthrough sprint, and it is designed to build a video presence that is natural, repeatable, and built for growth. Lita is a 3-week live community-driven experience. It's designed to change actually how you show up on video, how you operate within video. Because especially if you're a sloth or a cheetah or somewhere in between there, maybe you're not fully a lion yet, you must learn to change how you operate within that video. And that is what Lita is designed to do, so that you can create videos that build trust, deepen connection, and convert higher. This is not just another video challenge, by the way. It is about intentional, supported practice. It helps you build confidence, clarity, and presence, and then turn our feedback into real public content that reaches your ideal audience. Inside of Lita, you are not just gonna show up on camera, you get to design how you show up. You're gonna get real feedback. And we're going to create video content that builds that trust, that builds the engagement for your business. So do you mind me sharing? And those of you who joined late, we can kind of answer some questions afterwards for sure. But what does Lita actually build? It builds your natural on-camera presence. And this is the first part of how people perceive you, right? It's the first entry to people even trusting you. If you can't show up in a way that feels like you off camera and bring that intentionally on camera, then you're probably really not connecting with people who might swipe away very quickly, right? We want to really intentionally design that how you show up, and it shouldn't be a performance. It should be based on who you are outside of the camera, the person that your family and your friends already love, the clients that you already work with. And so we're really building rhythm and not a motivation. We're not relying on motivation. And it builds confidence through action, right? We're looking at imperfect action. You're just gonna do it, and I'll tell you how it works. But by the end, you're gonna have actual published videos in the real world that are built for conversion. This is not just a practice session, but you'll have a repeatable structure that you can keep using, which is pretty awesome. Would anybody want that? Like, do you want a repeatable system that feels like you, like feels like truly, truly you? What is, like, how does it actually work? So let's kind of talk through that. Yes, Vesica says, yes, I want that. And that is exactly what we're designing here. So this is a 3-week video breakthrough sprint. And what it does is it's really weekdays only. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to, every day at 6 a.m. Pacific, I'm going to deliver you a simple to-do. It doesn't require a lot of work. It doesn't require any work because it's really only gonna let you, take you 15 minutes to watch my video, go do the mission. You're gonna go live inside of the private Facebook group, then deliver the mission. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to say and do in that morning video, and then you're just gonna take on your own time during that day, whenever works for you. You'll go live inside of the private Facebook group and deliver the mission. Like, for instance, today, everybody is introducing themselves already. So activity is already happening. People are doing their pre-Lita mission because we start on the 2nd with the official missions. But right now, everybody's learning how it all works by introducing themselves. I've given you very specific instructions. Say this, say this, say this, and then you just go do it. And why is it live? We'll talk about that here in a second. But this is private because it's no judgment zone. Everybody in here is accepting of you for who you are. Truly, truly, truly. There's zero judgment, zero negativity. There's not even critique allowed. Like, because we don't want you to be critiqued. We want you to absorb and become who you truly are off camera, but on camera. And you're gonna do those live reps every single day, just structured and guided missions. I'm gonna show you exactly what to do. Now, there are additional live trainings and support as well. But what is $97, and it's for the whole 3-week program and also those extra special trainings. Again, the Facebook group is already open. Intros are already happening. The vibe is awesome. And it's so cool to see people start to already. We haven't even gotten started officially, but people are already starting to be okay being who they are. I'm not going to divulge details, but there are some people in there that have really big things happening in their heads around who they are and how they look and show up on camera. And with one mission, just introducing themselves, they have connected with, it's okay. All right. Like, I'm not getting judged. People don't see what I see. And that is a really, really cool place to be. All right, so why do we do live? Because it kills overthinking. So if you're worried like, oh no, I don't want to show up live, it kills overthinking. You cannot prepare too much. You cannot redo right? So it really just kills all of the things that are going on in your brain to stop you from doing video. And imperfect action is what is building that momentum and creating the habits. Doing video well can take you 3 years, really, truly. I've seen it because of all the starting and the stopping and the second guessing. This is compressing that into 3 weeks to give you clarity, to give you momentum, and to give you the understanding of what it takes to actually start putting this into your business as a system, right? All right, so if you are a sloth, then Lita is going to break delay, right? You're going to stop delaying. If you are a cheetah, Lita will install that rhythm for you, right? Because we're doing weekdays only. We're not burning out, which is really important because we don't have to do it all. We can have, who here, a show of hands in Zoom, you're an all in or all out kind of person. I know I struggle with that too, right? Like all in or all out. Like if I'm not gonna be good at something, then I'm not gonna do it, or I'm gonna get damn good at it really fast, right? And that's the way I felt when I came back from that TV show experience. I was like, wow, I do not like what's happening inside. I just put my everything out there and it felt so uncomfortable and awkward and I cannot be good. I cannot not be good at something. Double negative for the win. And so for me, I came back home then and I said, I'm going live every day to my audience. That's just what I'm gonna do to get over this uncomfortableness. And that is the core reason why we do Lita in the way that we do it, because it pushes you. And I got really good really fast. You can take 3 weeks or you can do it in 3 weeks. You can take 3 years or you can do it in 3 weeks. That is what it's built to do. So Lamb is going to show up, right? That is expected. In Lita, you don't eliminate it necessarily. You learn to recognize it. And really important, you keep moving anyway. So I would love, love, love to see you inside of Lita. If you're watching the live stream, I've got live streams and we've got Zoom, but go ahead and join Lita. Like I said, it is happening right now. If you are growth-minded, if you are willing to be vulnerable with me in a safe, judgment-free zone, if you are willing to show up daily, if you are not looking for just some random tips that you're not going to do anything with anyway, if you are ready to install a new identity and step yourself up, Lita is for you. Those of you on Zoom, I'm going to come to Q&As and talk to you a little bit more. I don't want to put this is a private environment. I don't want to put you out on social. So I'm going to kill the live stream now. But if you have questions, those of you watching on LinkedIn or YouTube, then now is the time. You can email us. You can go ahead and sign up and start getting involved in the activity that is already happening. Renee says, a black belt is just a white belt who never quit. One of my favorite sayings. I love that. That is exactly. Bessie says, I am signing up. Yes, I love that. The sloth here is ready to become the lioness. Yes, Bessie, I am celebrating you so hard right now with that. That is gorgeous. So those of you watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, thank you so much for being here. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. And those of you, I'm just going to end the stream. Say bye to YouTube, everybody. Bye.